realize we've got to do more. And so we're going to be proposing a series of legislative reforms that will help strengthen Florida's hand in fighting back against the Biden border crisis and what we've seen happening for almost the last year in terms of what's happening to our country. So we're going to propose a number of things. One, we're going to say to any of these contractors who are involved in ferreting people, whether it's buses, charter planes, what have you, any of those folks who are involved in facilitating this type of illegal migration in the state of Florida, they're going to be barred from doing any business with any state or local government agency in the state of Florida. We just cannot be doing contracts with companies that are knowingly and recklessly facilitating bringing people here into our state illegally. And I think that will be very, very important. We're also going to require that any private entity that's involved in facilitating illegal migration into Florida owes the state restitution for each person that they're facilitating, whether they're bringing, whether they're harboring, because this does cost. When you have huge numbers of people, that costs a lot of money for taxpayers in a variety of ways. I mean, just think, anytime you have an altercation with law enforcement, you have criminal cases, you have other issues with drugs, you have just normal things about health care and things that fall under the taxpayer. So every single person will be charged, the entities will have to provide restitution for the state of Florida. Number three, we're also going to strengthen our sanctuary cities law. We're going to make sure that if a local jurisdiction is not assisting state law enforcement in our investigation on whether somebody has been brought here illegally, that constitutes a sanctuary policy. And that makes sense. Now, before, when we did the Sanctuary Cities bill, we were dealing with the prospect of the federal government helping us. For example, when Trump was president, you had a criminal alien in a Florida state penitentiary. They served their sentence. ICE would pick them up and then they'd send them back. Biden doesn't, they don't really do that. I mean, sometimes they'll do it now because there's been some pressure, but a lot of times they will release these people. That was not happening previously. Now we're in a different situation where we need all entities in Florida helping to fight back against the federal government's ineptitude and inaction. So that'll be important to strengthen. We're also going to strengthen E-Verify enforcement by adding Department of Economic Opportunity as an agency eligible to conduct enforcement. We're going to provide resources. We're going to provide money to be able to do it. What we don't want is incentivizing people to be coming to the state illegally. And we also, in yesterday's budget, I put in $8 million for us to be able to transport people illegally out of the state of Florida. Now, we had mentioned, I said, it's somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but it is true. If you sent to Delaware or Martha's Vineyard or some of these places, that border would be secure the next day. That border would be secure. But instead, they're imposing the results of their policies on states like Florida, who they love to hate or whatever. But we are going to provide that opportunity, and I think that could potentially make a difference. We want to know if somebody is committing criminal activity, if they're arrested, or certainly if they're convicted. We want to know whether they are here illegally. That matters. That matters for adjudicating these policies. It matters for the costs that are imposed on our state.